Hello, friend. Thank you for joining me in this opportunity to get you in touch with yourself. We're going to start with the check-in that I do in my ongoing Qigong class. And with this check-in, you're going to want to be seated comfortably or lying down, whichever you prefer, with your hands resting in your lap. Your eyes can be either opened or closed. And the first thing you want to do is simply pay attention to any messages that your body-mind complex may have for you. At this point, simply notice the message. Try not to give it a value judgment of pleasant or unpleasant, good or bad. Just notice the message, thank the message, and move on to the next. You may receive these messages in the form of sounds, of sensations, thoughts. Simply allow them to move through your consciousness, appreciating them as they move through. And gently bring your attention to how your feet feel against the floor. Notice how your sit bones feel against the chair. Notice how your clothing feels against your skin. And say hello to your skin. Let your skin know how much you honor it, how much you appreciate it. Recognize that your skin is a miraculous organ. It works for you 24/7 without your conscious control. It helps you with temperature regulation. It helps you to intake things into the system and expel things from the interior to the exterior. Let this first line of defense know how much you honor it, how much you love it. Recognize the miraculous properties that it can heal itself if it has been severed, that it can expand as it needs to or contract. And really let this part of you know how much you honor it and appreciate it. Sinking through the skin to the Wei Qi, the defense Qi that lives between the skin and the muscles. Appreciate this lymphatic fluid, the lymphangions that help the fluid move in its most efficient direction. Appreciate the lymph nodes that the fluid is brought to be dissolved, resolved, cleaned. And let this part of your immune system know how much you honor it, how much you appreciate it, that you recognize it is essential to your well-being. And it does its work for you 24/7 without your conscious control. Flowing with the lymph into the muscles. Notice that your muscles are vibrant and healthy, strong, with good tensile strength, that they are flexible, with good blood perfusion. And let your muscles know how much you honor them, how much you appreciate them. Both the muscles that you have conscious control over, that move you through space, that hold you in place, and the muscles that you do not even know you have, the muscles that move your eyes 1,000 times a second, the muscles that rise the hairs in your nostrils to make you sneeze. Let all the muscles, both known and unknown, recognize how much you appreciate them, how much you honor them, how much you love them. Traveling down the muscles to the bones. Notice that your bones are bright, strong, flexible, and they are emitting a bright light that expands outward towards the skin and inwards towards the bone marrow. Appreciating this deep system, this root, this foundation. Recognize that your bones are living, moving, evolving creatures, that they are not static or ossified. And let your bones know how much you honor them, how much you appreciate them. Sinking through the bones to the bone marrow, that area of Wu Qi, of undifferentiated potential, where the stem cells reside, where your creative core is. And let this creative center part of you know how much you honor it, how much you appreciate it. Give gratitude to this part of you. And when you're ready, you can begin the bone marrow cleansing breath. With your attention at the tips of the fingers and the tips of the toes, as you release out the fingers and toes, exhale those things that no longer serve you, any stale, dirty qi, any ill qi, things that you no longer want or need. And as you inhale, receive into the tips of the fingers and the tips of the toes, into the bone marrow of the fingers and toes, those things that will serve you for today, that will calm you, energize you, heal you, whatever it is you need today. Release as you exhale through the fingers and toes. Receive as you inhale through the fingers and toes. Allow each breath to move further up the hands, further up the legs, cleansing the bone marrow, renewing the bone marrow. Allow each breath to travel further up the arms, further up the legs, releasing as you exhale, receiving as you inhale. When the breath in the arms reaches the shoulders, it travels into the shoulder blades, into the spine, down the spine, through the sacrum, and out the tailbone. When the breath in the legs reaches the hips, it permeates the pelvic girdle, travels into the tailbone, up through the sacrum to the spine, up the spine, and out the top of the head. Releasing as you exhale, receiving as you inhale. Allow the breath that's exiting the tailbone to travel through the crust, through the mantle, all the way to the core of the planet. Allow the breath that is exiting the top of the head to travel through the atmosphere, stratosphere, ionosphere, through space to the sun. Remember that your role as a human being on this planet at this time is the interface between heaven and earth. You are the connection of the heavens and the planet. Remember that your role is that of a star creature, that you are made up of the same elements, enzymes, ions, atomic, subatomic, subsubatomic particles that make up the rest of the living creatures on the planet, the plants, the waters, the metals, the planet itself. Recognize that you are a microcosm of the macrocosm, that you are a reflection of the universe. And notice that as you are to the universe, every cell of your body is to you. And remember the fact that you walk, talk, eat, sleep, drink, think is miraculous, and that you are a living, breathing miracle. And gently begin bringing those parts back, those parts that are off traveling, visiting loved ones, past events, future events. Allow them to all come back to the physical. Reel them in as if they are kites on a string. And as they settle back into the physical, begin noticing the various physical events. Notice how your sit bones feel on the chair. Notice how your feet feel on the floor. Notice how your clothing feels against the skin. Notice the sounds in your immediate surroundings and beyond. And gently begin moving the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. You may want to shrug your shoulders a couple of times and open your eyes.